If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Truth is ever to be found in simplicity and not in the multiplicity and confusion of things. What we know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean. Nature is pleased with simplicity, and nature is no dummy. A man may imagine things that are false, but he can only understand things that are true. Live your life as an exclamation rather than an explanation. Tact is the knack of making a point without making an enemy. You have to make the rules, not follow them. Truth is the offspring of silence and meditation. I keep the subject constantly before me and wait till the first dawnings open slowly into a full and clear light. No great discovery was ever made without a bold guess. If others would think as hard as I did, then they would get similar results. To myself, I am only a child playing on the beach, while vast oceans of truth lie undiscovered before me. I took great satisfaction in breaking Leibniz's heart. If I had waited for others to make my tools, I would never have made anything. We are to admit no more causes of natural things than such as are both true and sufficient to explain their appearances. If I have ever made any valuable discoveries, it has been due more to patient attention than to any other talent. Trials are medicines which our gracious physician prescribes because we need them. How came the bodies of animals to be contrived with so much art? Was the eye contrived without skill in optics? By thinking about it all the time. To every action there is always opposed and equal reaction. They who search after the philosopher's stone are obliged to a strict and religious life. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. Opposite to godliness is atheism in profession and idolatry in practice. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. The more time spent in worship of false gods, the less for the true one. If I have been able to see further, it was only because I stood on the shoulders of giants. God gave the prophecies not to gratify curiosity, but to manifest providence. Kepler's laws led to the discovery of the law of attraction. Nature is exceedingly simple and harmonious with itself. Atheism is so senseless. When I look at the solar system, I see Earth at the right distance from the Sun. This did not happen by chance. In experimental philosophy, propositions inferred by induction are to be regarded as true until contradicted. Every body perseveres in its state of rest unless compelled to change by forces impressed. Truth is my greater friend. If I have seen a little further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. I kept the subject constantly before me till the dawnings opened into full light. To explain all nature is too difficult for one age. 'Tis better to do a little with certainty and leave the rest. Errors are not in the art, but in the artificers. A vulgar mechanic knows not how to correct errors. He that reasons judiciously is never at rest till he gets over every rub. Blind metaphysical necessity could produce no variety. All diversity arises from the ideas of a being. Philosophy is such an impertinently litigious lady that a man had as good be engaged in lawsuits as have to do with her. The thumb alone would convince me of God's existence. Resistance is usually ascribed to bodies at rest, but motion and rest are only relatively distinguished. If I had seen further than others, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants. God governs all things as Lord, not as the soul of the world. The great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me. All that diversity of natural things could arise from nothing but the ideas of a being necessarily existing. We build too many walls and not enough bridges. Whence arises all that order and beauty we see in the world? Truth is ever to be found in simplicity. If I have done great things, it's because I stood in the closet of smart men taking notes. The scriptures assure us that the Lord will provide. Men construe too many walls and not enough bridges. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. A man suited to science cannot believe bodies act through a vacuum without mediation. No old men, excepting Dr. Wallace, love mathematics. This most beautiful system of the sun, planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel of an intelligent being. He who thinks half-heartedly will not believe in God. He who really thinks has to believe. Our ordination, about the times of the end, men will turn to prophecies and insist on their literal interpretation. God without dominion, providence, and final causes is nothing but fate. I see more marks of authenticity in the Bible than in any profane history. The fixed stars must be all subject to the dominion of one. Gravity must be caused by an agent acting constantly according to laws. To explain all things by conjecture without making sure of anything is vain. God is able to create particles of matter and thereby vary the laws of nature. If the things be false, the apprehension of them is not understanding. The counsel and contrivance of an author is seen in the uniformity of life's shapes. For public esteem, I study to decline it. This principle I forbore to describe, lest I be accounted an extravagant freak. Let us trust his skill and thank him for his prescription. Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, but truth is my greater friend. God governs all things, not as the soul of the world, but as Lord over all. The pomp of superfluous causes is vain. Nature is pleased with simplicity. I began to think of gravity in the prime of my age for invention. Atheism is so senseless and odious to mankind. What Descartes did was a good step. You have added much. The eye's design shows an intelligent author. If the agent be material or immaterial, I leave to my readers. No sciences are better attested than the religion of the Bible. To every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction.